you may submit a proposal for either or both, either a workshop, which is 2 hours in length. These are done Friday morning, and we have a limited space for 4 workshops. Very important that these workshops must be eligible for performance-based CEUs with CCHI. The other category is for breakout sessions, which are 60 minutes long. These are for Friday and Saturday. They also must be eligible for CEUs.
And a little bit further down, we'll show you which accrediting bodies we will be submitting applications to. We've provided a list of some ideas of conference topics that you can submit for. This is not by any means an exhaustive list. We, of course, want topics that are relevant to the conference theme.
Yes, this form reflects the old form, which it's listing some very important information. So please read through it, pay attention. We are letting you know what audiovisual support we provide and we do not provide. And of course, as we all know, we need to come prepared.
There are many benefits to presenting at the CHIA conference, and we've listed a few of them. The main thing we want to point out here is that it is now more and more common for interpreters to receive CEUs for presenting at conferences. So check with your accrediting body and see what their rules are for that.
Yes, now we come into the personal information for the presenter or presenters. The typical, you're going to need to enter your name, your email, your phone number in case we need to contact you when we're not able to reach you via email. Please enter a personal bio that is no more than 100 words. And whether you are a content expert for this proposed activity. 99% of the information we are asking in this form is information that we are going to need to enter when we apply to any of the CEU's accrediting bodies, like CCHI, IMIA, the Washington State. They ask, some of them are going to ask for all of this information or part of that information, but we want to be prepared, and that is why we are asking you all of this information. That is the reason.
Exactly. And not being a content expert for a particular activity does not necessarily exclude you from qualifying for, to be accepted for the presentation. Again, it's simply something that we need to know in order to apply for CEUs. And we're very interested in promoting novice presenters, first-time presenters, and getting new people constantly available and getting people experience as a presenter, as a conference presenter. So this is a new question on our form this year. We're interested to know if you have presentation experience. If you don't, it's okay. You can just say that you don't, or say none available. If you are a seasoned presenter, we don't necessarily need to have all of your presentation experience, but if you could give us about 5 examples of relevant experience, that would be great. Just the year and the venue would be fine. And if you have presented at a CHIA conference, it would be helpful for us to know that too, particularly in case it's been prior to the years that Jose and I have been helping to coordinate this.
If for any reason you are required to get your employer's authorization to attend this conference, we just want to remind you to start that process, start that conversation with your employers before you submit this proposal or right after. We just want you to be prepared in that aspect. So following, there is going to be the same information if there is a co-presenter. We need the same information, the name, email, phone number, a bio of no more than 100 words, and what else do we need, Michelle?
All of the same information is asked here, and this is probably a good time for us to make sure that everyone knows that this is going to be an in-person event this year. But sometimes we get questions, sometimes presenters want to know if the main presenter is on site, can the co-presenter participate by video? And the answer to that is no. So if you do have a co-presenter, both presenters are required to be in person at the event. The reason for that is just simply due to the quality of audio visual and making sure that we have a very high quality experience for the attendees. We are limiting presenters to 2. There is a discounted registration for presenters, and this year, again, for safety reasons, we are requesting that you have no more than 2 presenters per presentation.
Yes, okay. Presentator title. This is what the first introduction, like remember, first impressions are very important. So make sure your title reflects what you want, the message you want to convey. One sentence, please don't make the title a 100-word paragraph. Try to make it concise, to the point, and then you can enter a presentation abstract, no more than 100 words. That is where you can explain what the message you want to convey in detail. We need 3 learning objectives as a minimum. Learning objectives are very important because this is going to tell the accrediting CEU accrediting body that at the end of the presentation, attendees are going to prove that they have learned something.
Right, so think of these as takeaway messages, takeaway skills or takeaway knowledge. So you can think about, the beginning to this might be, by the end of this presentation, the attendee will, and what would be the ending of that? What are they going to learn, or what skill are they going to obtain? It's helpful to think about these in terms of action words. And there are plenty of examples online, but if you are not sure how to write a learning objective, you can reach out to either Jose or myself, or you can also look at the different accrediting bodies that have examples of how to write these learning objectives. And very quickly, I'm just going to go back to the presentation title and abstract. We know that sometimes presenters, you recycle activities from one conference to a next, and that's absolutely fine. If this has been presented at a previous conference, there's no problem with that. But just remember that that our conference is geared toward healthcare interpreters, and there may be others in the mix. For example, language agency managers, staff from hospitals, and other organizations that work with language access. So keep that in mind if you are reusing or recycling a presentation, that you may want to focus your title and your abstract on the CHIA audience.
Here is where you are going to select whether you are submitting a proposal for a workshop, 2 hours, or a breakout, which is 1 hour. Remember that you can submit multiple proposals, one proposal for each topic, whether it's a workshop or a breakout. And please indicate whether you have already obtained CEUs for this workshop or breakout session. And please let us know if those CEUs are for CHIA, MIA, RID, Washington State, or any other CEU.
And then this is the last part of the call for presentations, which is the proposal agreement. We're not going to go through each of these items, but we do want to make sure that you take close care in reviewing them, and you will check each of these boxes to show that you have read each of them and that you agree with them. So this is information that you need for submitting the proposal, for presenting your proposal at CHIA, and other really important information, for example, how many copies of materials you need. Note that anything with a red asterisk is a required question. That means you will not be able to submit your form unless that is complete. You're welcome to submit more than one topic. And I'm very excited to see what folks come up with this year. We're super excited to be with everybody in person and to have a wonderful reunion, an in-person reunion with all of our CHIA friends and family.